Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical, video and audio elements of the videos that I watch. And today we are coming back for another Pattycake Productions original, Into the Storm. This is one I've been excited about for a while. I am a huge Wicked fan. I do enjoy The Wizard of Oz as well, and the idea of a video that sort of tracks the progression of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, through the years of visual media is really cool. So I'm very excited to see what's going on. On top of that, of course, Jessica Vosk, the performer, was Elphaba on Broadway for quite some time. I believe she was there for the 15th anniversary. I actually have never seen it on Broadway, but I've seen it on the West End many times. Not for a long time now. The last time I saw it must have been, probably back in 2012, I guess. But I did, of course, see the movie recently, which was outrageously good. So yeah, I have a couple of bits of Wicked content I have ideas for that I'm going to bring out later in this year, but first of all I wanted to look at this because this has been burning a hole in my pocket, so to speak, since I first saw it go up, and I wanted to get to it. So still broken from the Villain's Lair for a moment. I will get back to that series with my next Pattycake reaction in a couple of months, but I did want to do this one now. And this is my first non-holiday video of 2025, so if this is my first video you're seeing this year, Happy New Year! Happy 2025. I hope it is a wonderful year for you. Yeah, I don't have a crazy amount to say about this. I understand that we're going to see the different versions of The Wicked Witch as we go through it, and it's an original by Layne and Tony. So beyond that, I don't have a lot to say. I'm excited to see what they do with it, and I think this as a concept is just really, really cool. So, without sort of saying too much more, I guess I'll just jump into my introduction and say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way that I work is I'm going to watch this through from beginning to end, commenting and emoting over the top of it, and then go back and watch it a second time, this time pausing and interrupting and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can, based on what I've just seen and heard and the foreknowledge of having seen it once before. My own introduction, and I'm tongue-tied today. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you would like to support the channel, then you can do so by heading to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or by leaving a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those are very gratefully appreciated if you would care to do so. If you have left something in the last couple of weeks, I am recording this at the end of 2024, and I have already recognized everyone who had donated something to this point, so if you have done something since, then that will be in my next video most likely. But yes, more info on that at the end of the video. The last two things I want to mention is this was the closest I could get to a green and pink combination. Hopefully it works. I don't know. But pink goes good with green. And the second thing is I am still in my phase of only having one monitor because I am recording this at the end of 2024. Hopefully by the time this video comes out I will have fixed my second monitor and I will have them both back, but in the meantime this is rather annoying because I can't see both the video and my recording at the same time, and there will also be a couple of cuts in this video when I switch the visualizer of the video on and off, so if there is an unexplained cut and this pops in or out, that will be why. Speaking of which, there is going to be one of those right now, so without any further delay, a quick cut, and then we will be coming back to see what Pattycake Productions and Jessica Vosk do with Into the Storm. Ooh, atmospheric intro. I love they got Jessica Vosk for this. Oh, yes. The whirlwind graphic.
Clouds are gathering, it's almost here. A choice to make, nowhere to disappear. Am I what's dangerous? Is the problem me? Do I hold it back or let the monster free?
Oh, these lyrics!
Every turn I take feels like a mistake. Can't allow, can't never find.
Oh, that's awesome.
In the thing you are, push it all too far. There's only one place left to go. Into the storm.
Woo! Oh, yes.
Can I escape the darkest part of me? Into the storm.
Oh, that's so cool.
Help me believe it's the real me?
Oh,
Do I hide what's
looks
inside, or
amazing.
do I let it grow? How do I know as I go into the storm? I don't know what to do. Is this because of me? Will I lose control and be the thing they see?
Oh, that line cuts hard.
Or let the dark invade.
Ooh.
Is evil born or is evil made? Every turn I take feels like a mistake.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can an outcast ever find her place? No. Can the thing you are push it all too far? There's only one place left to go. Into the storm.
Oh, this is so good.
Can I escape the darkest part of me? Into the storm. Help me believe it's not the real me. Do I hide what's inside or do I let it grow? How do
I love that
know
she's seeing all these versions of herself. This is so cool.
I have a choice. Can I choose who to be? Is there any hope left for someone like me? How can I see who I'm meant to be when the solid ground keeps falling out from under me? Into the storm.
Oh,
Can I escape the darkest part of me? Into the storm.
oh, this is amazing.
Let me believe.
The storytelling is so good.
Do I hide what's inside or do I let it grow? How do I know as I go into the storm?
Oh, that is good. That is really good. The storytelling in that is so much fun. I didn't realize there was a Cinderella one as well. I'll have to check that out at some point. This is such a cool idea. That's cute. Wow, that was amazing. What a fabulous idea. That, I think, it's so interesting when you have these characters that have this legacy that's developed over the years to take a moment. I love watching videos on YouTube about this, where it's like, you know, how has such and such a character developed over the years, or how has the storytelling around them changed and things like that. And I think this is extraordinary because that, watching that track through however many years it's been since the original Wizard of Oz was released, I should remember, 39. Oh, that was Kathy! Fabulous! It's amazing because so much has happened, and the way that we tell stories has changed, the nature of stories has changed, in terms of, you know, things like, you know, how gritty is something, how colourful is it, what is appealing to a current audience in terms of what you look at in cinema and in storytelling. I actually watched a really interesting video recently about the various different Batman performers since Tim Burton's up to Robert Pattinson, and it was fascinating understanding how things have changed even in such a short period of time. So when you go back to 39, it's a completely different field now to what it was originally. And of course, you know, cinema, special effects, all that kind of thing have come such a very, very long way. Anyway, let's go back to the beginning of this and watch it again and see what cool things I can pull out of it, because there's a lot going on here and it's awesome. This is so cool because there's such a variety of sounds that we start this with. We come in, it says dramatic orchestral music, but there's an electronic vibe to this sort of sound. It's very atmospheric, very kind of, you could see it as a scene-setting thing. Like, it comes in before there is detail. That this is just the first piece of sound that you hear, and I really like that. And over this grey, looks almost like smoke, and I love that this builds into the tornado as it goes. But this is a starting point, and these I'm used to Pattycake Productions introducing themselves with bright colours, and so having this black text sort of fading out of the shadow is really cool. And then you have this piano, very clear, very bright sounding. There's a lot of treble in that piano, and it's a complete contrast to the sort of very muted sound we have underneath. And then it's this very electronic pad sounding thing coming in over the top of that as well. Like this, it's a really interesting blend of different sounds that starts this thing off, and I think that's really cool. And I love. This is so cool. If you listen to the weight of the percussion as it comes in. Quite a strident hit. It stands out to everything else that we've been listening to so far. It builds up, but you've got this rumbling. It sounds like a rumbling of like a drum being built up, but it also builds into the sound of the tornado. And that is so much quieter. The tornado has taken over. The storm has become the focal point of the sound for a hot second. And even that piano, so much more muted than it was before. Lovely stuff. And I love that as we get that clear hit, the string, the cello now coming through with that different sound, clears up as the storm fades away. We start on the yellow brick road. So we start with brightness and color that we would have had for the Wizard of Oz.
Clouds are gathering.
And yet this is our final focus. It's warm. The light is yellow. It's got a lot of warmth to it, but we've lost the stark color that we had a minute ago. The yellow brick road has faded away. Yes, we have these splashes of red, but notice that the color is much more kind of like saturated towards that yellow filter almost. And it's not that brightness anymore. That it showed our setting, but it shows that this person is not that bright in that setting. She is undecided. She's not super like dark. It's not like it's gone black and white, or she's in massive shadow or something like that. It's still warm lighting, but the brightness has drained away a little bit. I love, like, from there to there, what a difference. It's extraordinary.
Clouds are gathering. It's almost here.
And what I love for this, clouds are gathering, it's almost here. Well, it's not particularly menacing melody line, but you have this this string motion underneath that is unsettling because of its pace, combined with the dum dum dum, these drums underneath it that are kind of, they're dramatic drums. They're not happy or bright. They're quite they're giving us this kind of epic feel, and together with the strings, it's put tension into this that the melody alone wouldn't convey, and I really like that choice. It's given us a lot of texture to a fairly simple beginning to the song.
Clouds are gathering. It's almost here. A choice to make, nowhere to disappear. Am I what's staying?
Lovely. We've got this beautiful minor tonic key that we're in, but what I do love is that we're using sound to create different feels. So if you listen to this progress, there's our minor key, bum 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 bum. There's our minor third telling us we're in a minor key. Bum, and now we go down. We've gone down to the minor sixth. So bum 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 bum. So now you suddenly have this sound where the tonic and the minor third have become the third and the fifth to this note. And so you have this lovely shift where we're using the same two notes functionally, but because we've gone down to that minor sixth as our tonic, now all of a sudden we have, as the root note of our chord, we suddenly have this major chord coming out. And we get to what I suspect, I can't quite hear what the cello's playing there, but I suspect it's probably a sus4 type thing being formed with the minor seventh. So we got the dum 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 as our chord progression.
Disappear. Am I what's dangerous? Is the problem me? Do I hold it back or let the monster free?
And it's so nice because all this, we have this very divided lyric. Do I hold it back? Do I set the monster free? Am I the problem? Like, there's a hopeful side and there's a negative side. And so that's kind of being represented both by the instrumentation and by the chords that we're moving through. We've got this mix of minor and major, these kind of hopeful notes, these less hopeful notes. It's giving us a really nice blend here, and I think it represents that kind of disparity of thought that Elphaba's having. I'm going to call her Elphaba, incidentally, just because it gives a character a name, which I really, really like. I think it's representing that dichotomy of personalities in so many different ways, and I am totally here for that.
Am I what's dangerous? Is the problem me? Do I hold it back or let the monster free?
And listen to these drums. Dum, 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 ba, ba, bum. Very heavy, dramatic, epic kind of sounding drums. It builds this up to have so much potential. Like, we are going somewhere with this, and I absolutely adore that. It gives it so much weight.
Do I hold it back or let the monster free? Every turn
I also Jessica's vocals in this are absolutely stunning. Of course, I would expect nothing else, but I love some of the choices she's making. Dangerous! I can't do it. I don't have a good pop voice, but she's got these little poppy things that she's putting in. This is sort of half musical theatre, half pop, and I think it's a really lovely blend.
Problem me. Do I hold it back?
Back! There's that little re-attack on the of back, and it's just little things like that. It's giving it a lot of emotional character. And I think that's really cool as well, because it means that there is so much going on in the vocals. Again, it's not particularly complicated music, but because of the different elements that are being woven together here, it's giving us a texture that is more complicated than the sum of its parts. And I'm so, so happy for that, because it makes this a really interesting song.
Is the problem me? Do I hold it back or let the monster free? Every turn I take feels like a mistake. This
addition to the orchestration here is so cool. You have that dum kind of sound. There's something, it sounds almost metallic, striking in the background. We got these additional sounds laying weight. Like there's double basses in there now, boom, boom, giving us these deep low notes that fill the arrangement out. We're just packing it with more things and giving it an even fuller texture than it had before. Great stuff.
Every turn I take feels like a mistake.
And I love this introduction of the Margaret Hamilton Wicked Witch, Kathy Castellucci. Really, really nice, having this fade in, the wispy kind of ethereal magic that seems to be around that. Like that as a transition from this kind of magic dust almost. Slowly she comes into being. I really love what they've done here, because it gives us this illusory sense. We don't get the impression necessarily that this person is here, but they are present, if that makes sense. They are definitely there in Elphaba's mind, Jessica Vosk's mind. And I think that's a great choice.
It's like a mistake. Can outcast never find her place? No, in the thing you are.
And the difference in expression, like, she seems anxious, nervous, looking back at this version of herself, who is so confident. Like, there's that absolute assurity in her face. I love that blend. She's seeing a version of herself who is confident, and confidence, could be a good thing, but not when the confidence is also malevolent. This is so good, and I love these lyrics are extraordinary. Let's just jump back for a second. Clouds. I'm going back further than I usually would, but I want to look at this because I have been ignoring the lyrics and they're really good.
Clouds are gathering, it's almost here. A choice to make, nowhere to disappear. Am I what's dangerous? Is the problem me? Do I hold it back or let the monster free?
This is such an interesting thing, isn't it? Am I dangerous? Is the problem me? That's a recognition that the potential for danger is there, if not already present. Do I hold it back or let the monster free? What an interesting choice of words. Am I dangerous? do I let the monster out? Because presumably if you let the monster out, then yes, you are dangerous. So the am I dangerous already is such an interesting question to then be followed by, do I do the dangerous thing? Do I make the dangerous choice? I really like that. There's a fascinating exploration of where you're at versus where you could be.
Every turn I take feels like a mistake. Can an outcast never find her place? No.
And that's an interesting one too, because if you look at Elphaba's history in Wicked, can an outcast ever find her place? No, she can't. She has to find some secluded secret. Spoilers, by the way, if you don't know the end of Wicked. But that sense that once you are outcast, that's it. That's kind of the way that Elphaba is left. She is cast out, she is condemned, and she never finds a place again. Or she does find a place, but it's a place she makes herself, and if you follow the canon of The Wizard of Oz, becomes incredibly evil and wicked. It's a fascinating question to be asked.
In the thing you are.
Actually, now I know it's Kathy, I can see it. That's that's awesome.
Into the storm.
I love this idea as well. Clouds are gathering, it's almost here. Like, they've given this sense that the moment the storm hits, that's when the decision has to be made. And one of the greatest things you can do to add tension to something is put a ticking clock on it. And that's the very first line, or the first two lines of this song, do that. They give a sense of urgency to all of these questions because they have to be decided. And she's saying, well, there's only one place I can go now, and that's into the storm, at which point my decision has to be made. This is really, really cool. And I love that decision with the orchestration. I love that we get that boom, kind of phased out drum, but then you get that very clear bum on the strings that is not, it's fully present. And I think that's such a lovely choice because it gives us something sharp to attach to, even in this like broken down bar.
There's only one place left to go, into the storm. Can I escape the darkest part of me into the storm?
I love the pointing too.
Can I escape the darkest?
Like just standing there pointing back at her, of like, there's a Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come element to that, isn't it? Of this is your future. That's really cool. And just the cape blowing in the wind as well. Like, this is so beautifully done. I also like the fact that she sings "Can I Escape the Darkest Part of Me," going back to the Margaret Hamilton Wicked Witch representation to Kathy. That's really great. And then, of course, we get the Wiz represented, which is, like, I love that shift from one to the next, coming back in the same place. That, I think, is a really nice choice. We cut back to the shot that the Wicked Witch just disappeared from, and we get this iteration coming in exactly the same space. I haven't actually seen the Wiz, so I don't have a point of reference for this one.
Help me believe it's not the real me. Do I hide?
And she backs away.
Help me believe it's not the real me.
Like, after the laugh, she actually backs away. Like, she's afraid of this version of herself. Oh, this is so good. I love that. And notice our lighting hasn't really changed. We've still got this warmth in this shot. We've got it back here. We've still got this yellow warmth. I think that's such a lovely choice because there's always hope. There's always that light version that is still out there somewhere.
Me believe it's not the real me. Do I hide what's inside or do I let it grow?
Oh, beautiful choice there too.
Do
Do I hide what's inside? As she's singing that, looking straight into the light, her face completely lit up at this moment.
hide what's inside or do I
And as she turns, yes, she's turned away a little bit, so we're still getting some light, but how much more shadow there is on her face as she sings this.
let it grow? How do I know as I go?
And seeing her move around, and we're shifting in and out of light, and the shadow passing across the face, passing away again, giving us different versions of her as she's singing. This is so beautifully done. I love it.
The real me. Do I hide what's inside or do I let it grow? How do I know as I go into the storm? I don't know what to do.
I just... The simplicity of the movement, the expression, the uncertainty, like turning in the circle could be elegant, but it could also be like kind of confusion. One thing I also noticed, you don't get many shots at the end of it, but if you look at her broom here, it is much neater than the scraggly one that Kathy's Margaret Hamilton version had. So there is a cleaner sense to this witch. You know, this is only a possible future. You might not go that way. Currently, things are neat and tidy, but question mark on your future. I also want to stop, this is a good place to stop, just to talk about this costume for a moment, because what I love is they've kept everything about the kind of black costume, the green skin, etc., etc., but this is a unique version of it. It is separate to the other versions that we have in this video. And so there is that sense that this is not yet any of the darker versions of this character, and I really, really like that choice. Beautiful costuming too, like all the ruffles on it, the rhinestones, sort of black rhinestones, I guess, that are in there. I like the idea to flip the edge of the hat. This is beautiful work. Beautiful work. And the notes of red as well, just a little other colour in there. Or maybe a little bit pink, maybe a hint to Glinda. I can't quite see exactly what shade it is, but I really like that there's splashes of colour in there.
I don't know what to do. Is this because of me? Will I lose control and be the thing they see?
That's such a lovely line. Will I lose control and be the thing they see? Will I become the witch that they've turned me into and that they perceive when I come into view, or will I be able to encourage them to see beyond that to the personality that I really am? What a lovely question. These lyrics are just absolutely spot on for this character.
Will I lose control and be the thing they see? Lock myself away or let the dark invade? Is evil
That's an interesting expression.
myself away or let the dark...
There's almost the tiniest curl of a smile when she says, let the dark invade. Like, it's tempting. I love that. It's so subtle. There's a twitch of the eye and a very slight curl up of the lip just here. I love that.
Be the thing they see. Lock myself away or let the dark invade? Is evil born or is evil made?
That's a lovely callback to a line in Wicked, which is, are people born wicked? Some people are born wicked and some have wickedness thrust upon them. I love that that's being referenced here because it is kind of like a key question about Elphaba that is asked by people who don't know her. And that's the response that Glinda gives, if I recall correctly. Yeah, superlative lyric writing here.
Is evil born or is evil made? Every turn I take feels like a mistake. Get an outcast ever.
And now we get the Oz the Great and Powerful Witch coming in, and I love that her first reaction back to that, like she's just looks back over the shoulder with such menace,
Feels like a mistake.
and she's nervous and confused about this version. I love that. Jessica's reactions in this are beautiful. She's doing such a great job.
An outcast ever find her place? No, in the thing you are.
I love the use of course, we saw this version in the Villain's Haunted Mansion. I love the use of the fire, because now
Her place? No.
here particularly, we have this warmth on the face of the orange coming from the fire, but that warmth isn't friendly anymore. Like, this is, you know, evil magic at work, and I love that. We're now repurposing the warmth to have a different meaning in this character.
In the thing you are.
Oh!
Her place? No. In the thing you are.
The eye glowing red from the flame. That's a nice touch. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love this. The graphics in this are so good. I really love the work that Pattycake is doing now, because it's just it feels like they're not doing anything. It feels like this is somehow legit.
Push it all too far. There's only one place left to go. Into the sky.
And that transition. She's there.
There's only one place left to go. Into the
Boof, gone, and you get that in the background. That is So, so good.
Place no anything you are. Push it all too far.
I love these embellishments. Push it all too far. Like little touches that are just giving it some personality, but they're not too big. They're not taking away from the song in any way. She sings this so, so well.
Only one place left to go. Into the storm. Can I escape the darkest part of me? Into the storm.
And I love how every version of the witch that comes in has their own form of confidence. Like there's... Like, there was a menace from the Oz the Great and Powerful, this being the Once Upon a Time witch. Again, haven't seen that much of it, so I don't have a point of reference. But there's a smugness here. Like, it's a different type of confidence. Everyone has their own personality, and they're all standing apart from the other versions of the same character, and that is so good.
Help me believe.
That storm, too.
I escape the darkest part of me. Into the storm.
Wow.
Help me believe it's not the real me. Do I hide what's inside, or do I let it grow?
And now, again, notice that the lighting is changing. We've still got some of this warmth.
What's inside, or do I...
But now it's getting colder. We've got these blues in the background. We've been through this a couple of times beforehand, but it's more prevalent now. It's starting to linger a little bit longer. Like those, as she walks forward there, the way that the shadows part and let light through, it's a much colder light now. And the simple choice to walk forward and then walk backward, I realize that's probably partly just because of the stage, excuse me, hiccups, the stage space that they had to work with. But it's giving her an indecisiveness. She strides forward with such confidence. But then, you know, hand up, nope, I'm going to go back. And then turn back and look hopefully back in the opposite direction. Really interesting and cool stage direction here. And now we get Elphaba from Wicked the movie. Just, again, different version of the character. And this time, that confidence isn't so strong. There is confidence, but it doesn't look as demanding anymore. It's more assuredness than confidence, almost. And notice now, cold light, these blues instead of that yellow. Oh, that little touch. Just her lips parting and closing again here. It's such a sense of, like, she wants to speak, she wants to help, she wants to, you know, ease the storm of emotions that are going through the Jessica Vosk version of the character at this point. It is so good, I love that. It's such a small touch, but that gesture says so much. And I love there we have that lovely moment where the cross pans and she's the one who pulls away. Even while she's longing for this hope, she feels like she can't get there. I love that me hitting that same note over and over again before settling one note before, and it's a nice touch because it's giving us that sort of slight upward movement even though we're not going anywhere. Those little dips up, they just give us a little bit of something, and then of course we're going to hit this amazing key change. And now, as the storm comes on, we have the wind blowing through, we have the cape flying back, the arms are out. This is a much more dramatic pose. She's sort of opened up almost, but it's still opening up into uncertainty. We're still not really sure where the character's going. I love this so much. It is just such a good video. And I love that we get those 5 cuts on the drum hits. Doom, 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 doom. Each of the different versions of the character before we cut back to Jessica for this big sort of elevation into the key change.
into the storm. Can I escape the darkest part of me?
And there's a little bit of stage Elphaba coming out in her performance now with these big hand gestures. That's very much how you see Elphaba on stage, and I love that that version is being represented here through her performance alongside all these other characters. And I also enjoy the fact that they're all laughing at her. We've got these different laughs of the character. This is so good. This is really, really enjoyable. Oh, this lighting! Wow! It's so bright on the face, like these cold colours. We've got a totally different version of the character now to what we had at the beginning, and I love that. Like, she's progressing, and this storm is taking over her before she's finished making a decision. And the sort of darkness that this implies could be rushing on, because ultimately if no decision is made, the path of least resistance is probably to embrace the evil that is already the status quo, rather than try and keep fighting to be good. So good! Oh! That shot! And I love the uncertainty in her face right here, and then as she goes down and her cape reveals what's behind her, we get a version of her just looming. Oh, that is so good. And I love it. As we pan around, we get another one. But that reveal that she's behind her with that smug, superior expression. Oh, this is magnificent. Like, I mean, these notes right here, wow, her voice is so clean, so pure as she goes up into this height.
How do I know as I go into the storm?
What I love there's a lovely touch. She has this huge note, and as her hands come down, the cape drops, and even though the wind is still rushing around her, and you see it flickering out to the sides a little bit. It's not until there, after she's finished singing Into the Storm, that we see it start to rise up again behind her. In this crazy wind, she has managed to bring her cape down behind her in this moment of control. The chaos has subsided for just a moment as she seemingly makes her decision and sings that Into the Storm. Oh, that's good! And I love that we're still left uncertain, right? There's the curl of the lip as she's up. It looks like she's chosen to go a bad way. It looks like she's chosen to be the Wicked Witch rather than to go into Elphaba, sort of the friendly character. We don't know that for sure. It's left open, and I like that. But it does imply that we're probably going one of the older routes rather than the most recent one. There's still... I missed that. Notice here, just the slant of her eyebrows. There still looks like there's a little uncertainty. They're a little bit raised, where previously the smirk, they were very definitely down. But it's not 100% certain now. Oh, I love this. And then the wind out to the credits. That is amazing. Jessica's voice is just mind-blowingly good, and she is such a great character in this. The way that she portrays this whole series of uncertainties as she sees different versions of who she could be, and that one hope of being Elphaba and staying, the good side of the line, even though we know that's not where the character is destined to go. There's that hope there of, could this still be how I turn out? Could I subvert the expectations of the people who see the black cape and the broom and the green skin and go, Wicked Witch? So very good. That is beautiful, and I love the performances by the 5 different witches as well. Like, there's such a different vibe about each of them. They really at least the ones I know, they inhabit the characters that they are portraying really beautifully, and they give Jessica so much to play off. I don't know how much they were actually there during shooting, or whether that was all done in post-pro, but it's really, really lovely seeing their interactions. I feel like it's so well realized. Like, that is an extremely credible experience watching that video and understanding the turmoil that's going through the Jessica Elphaba's mind. That's really, really cool. Quick cut while I switch back to my other screen. Yeah, that is quite magnificent. I am so happy that they decided to do that because, as I say, I love those kind of evolution videos where you see a character change, and to see it in the form of a song, and a really, really good song, that's awesome. Everybody involved in this absolutely killed it, as always. Pattycake, you know you're going to get a good video when you watch one of theirs. I was really, really impressed with that, and I will definitely be going back and watching that again as soon as I'm done with this video. And I feel like there's probably things in there I missed, especially if there's anything I missed with nuances of the characters from Once Upon a Time and The Wiz. Do let me know, because I haven't seen either of those. Once Upon a Time I've seen some of, but not enough, and The Wiz I haven't seen at all. Oz the Great and Powerful I have seen a very long time ago, but I don't really remember it that well. Wizard of Oz and Wicked are my two kind of key touch points to this character. But that's so cool that so much can happen there, and you don't need to have a point of reference for each one because the story is told so well in the video. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Well done, everyone involved in that. I think you did a great job. That is a spectacular video, really, really good song, and extraordinary performances. So yeah, well done to everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I was able to bring you something, be it the video, the song, this song, Pattycake themselves. Go and check them out. They're amazing. Links in the description below. Or whether you know this very well. Hopefully I was able to bring something to you or make one comment where you're like, oh, I never noticed that, and that's really cool. Or that, oh, now I know why I like that thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to do with these videos. And if I succeed, I will be a very happy man, even if it's just for one person. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you would care to do so, you can leave a donation for me by heading to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can leave a donation of any amount. You can head to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian, or your regional equivalent. And that's just ongoing support for the channel right now. It does give you access to my Discord, where I also, when I'm able to get the editing done in good enough time, I let people know you get like previews of what's coming on the Friday uploads and any other times I may be uploading. Recently it's been difficult because life has been a lot and I've been getting the editing done on the Friday morning, so the sneak peeks have been quite short, but I do that when I can. So yeah, that's just it's ongoing support for now, but hopefully by middle or late middle of 2025, I'll be doing a bit more with the Patreon. You can also leave a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those would be very gratefully appreciated if you would care to do them. That's going to be it for this week. I will be back again next week with more content. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, whatever time you happen to be watching this. 7:33 p.m. Let's try that. See if I can catch someone then. But yes, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.